Imagine relaxing in your favorite chair. Then, a strange lightness creeps in. The book floats away, defying gravity. Your feet lift off the floor, you're floating upward. Outside, cars, trees, and even the neighbor's dog are levitating. Everything is rising into the sky. For 10 seconds, gravity vanishes. The world becomes a slow-motion snow globe. People, pets, and possessions drift aimlessly. Water blobs up, defying physics. Your cat floats past the window, startled. Panic sets in as the implications become clear. Oceans rise, the atmosphere disperses, and everything not bolted down drifts away. It's about the chaos when gravity takes a break. Let's explore the consequences of this gravitational lapse. By imagining a world without gravity, we can appreciate how essential it is and how fragile our world can be without it. Ready to explore the chaos? Let's unravel the mysteries of the great floataway. So what is gravity? It's a fundamental force, something we experience constantly, yet it's also one of the most mysterious aspects of the universe. At its core, it's the attraction between objects with mass. The more mass, the stronger the pull. Earth's mass keeps us grounded. Newton realized gravity pulls apples to the ground and keeps the moon in orbit. His formula showed gravity depends on mass and distance. Einstein revolutionized our understanding, proposing gravity is the bending of space-time. Massive objects warp space-time, creating what we perceive as gravity. Imagine a bowling ball on a trampoline. Smaller balls curve toward it, similar to how objects move around massive objects. Ultimately, gravity shapes the universe. It formed stars, planets, and galaxies. It's the universal glue that binds the cosmos. Pretty amazing, right? Imagine, if you will, the sudden absence of a force we take for granted every single moment of our lives: gravity. The instant gravity vanishes, without any warning, without any preamble, the world as we know it begins to fundamentally change. You feel weightless. That familiar pull that keeps you grounded, the sensation of your feet firmly planted on the earth, is simply gone. It's a disorienting, almost dreamlike experience. Everything not anchored, every loose object, every unsecured item, people, pets, your loved ones, your furry companions, dust, even the tiniest particles floating in the air, begins to float. It's a slow, almost balletic ascent, as everything seeks a new equilibrium. You don't shoot upward like a rocket, you gently lift off, almost imperceptibly at first, moving in the direction you were already going, thanks to inertia. That forward momentum you had is now unopposed. The Earth is spinning, constantly rotating, and you're spinning with it, whether you realize it or not, at over 1,600 kilometers per hour at the equator. That's faster than the speed of sound. Without gravity, that constant pull keeping you on the surface, you drift away from the surface, slowly but surely separating from the ground you once knew, following a straight line as the ground curves away beneath you. The curvature of the Earth becomes strikingly apparent. In seconds, you're meters above the ground, the world shrinking beneath you, surrounded by floating objects, a chaotic ballet of furniture, personal belongings, and everything else that wasn't tied down. Now, think about the oceans, those vast, deep bodies of water that cover most of our planet. Without gravity, water becomes weightless. The very nature of the oceans is about to undergo a radical transformation. The immense pressure at the ocean floor, built up over millennia, is suddenly released, and water blobs rise from the depths, propelled upward by the sudden absence of gravitational force, breaking into spheres, surface tension now the dominant force shaping their form. It's not a tidal wave in the traditional sense, a sudden surge of water crashing onto the shore, but a majestic, slow rise of water into the air, a breathtaking spectacle of physics unleashed. The planet starts to look like something alien, something otherworldly. It's shrouded in a mist of floating oceans, a delicate, ethereal veil of water suspended in the void. Everything is adrift, untethered, floating in a silent, weightless dance, and the world is unrecognizable, transformed into a landscape of floating debris and colossal water spheres. The chaos is just beginning, a prelude to even more dramatic and unpredictable events. Let's see what happens next, as we delve deeper into this gravity-free world and explore the consequences of this sudden and profound change. By the fourth second, Earth's rotation becomes obvious. Everything floats not just up but sideways, drifting west as the ground spins east. People in New York drift over the Atlantic, in Tokyo over the Sea of Japan. The atmosphere, no longer held by gravity, rapidly expands into space. Air pressure drops and the boiling point of liquids lowers. Moisture on your tongue and eyes starts to boil away. Oceans, now floating blobs, are exposed to low pressure and boil violently, creating clouds of vapor. The world is shrouded in a thick, steamy fog. Inside buildings, everything not secured floats and bumps around. Buildings, designed for gravity, start to crack and shift. Skyscrapers sway and materials expand or contract. The landscape is obscured by swirling mist and chaos. The very foundations of our cities are coming apart. The planet is transforming before our eyes. As the 10 seconds tick down, chaos hits the skies. Airplanes lose lift and thrust as the air thins. They become uncontrollable, gliding forward like giant darts. Birds and insects can't fly. Air is too thin, and they float helplessly. Earth itself feels the effects. Its molten core and tectonic plates, balanced by gravity, destabilize. Pressure is released, triggering earthquakes and eruptions. The ground shakes violently as the planet tears itself apart. The moon, no longer held by Earth's gravity, flies off in a straight line, its orbit forever changed. Earth's own orbit around the sun is disrupted, sending us drifting into space. The solar system's balance is shattered. In just 10 seconds, the world and sky are unrecognizable. The consequences are catastrophic. And the countdown isn't over yet. What about those in space? What about astronauts on the International Space Station? They're used to weightlessness, but gravity at their altitude is still strong. They're in constant freefall, orbiting Earth. When gravity vanishes, their freefall stops. The ISS and its crew stop orbiting and travel in a straight line, drifting away from Earth. For a moment they're safe from the chaos below, but when gravity returns, the ISS is no longer in a stable orbit. It could be thrown into a wild new path or even lost to space. Mission Control would face a massive challenge, if it still exists. The astronauts' isolation becomes even more profound. They witness Earth's disaster from above, but their own fate is uncertain. Gravity's reach is truly universal. 10 seconds are up. Gravity snaps back. Everything floating is yanked down at 9.8 meters per second squared. The fun of floating turns to terror as the world drops at once. People inside buildings fall from ceilings, risking serious injury. Outdoors, anything that floated higher, cars, debris, plummets with devastating force. The world is filled with crashes and destruction. Buildings are battered as their contents slam down. Airplanes and birds moving at high speeds are pulled into deadly arcs, crashing miles from where they started. The sky rains debris, and the natural world suffers massive losses. The return of gravity is even more destructive than its disappearance. The aftermath is catastrophic. The world is forever changed. What comes next is even messier. In the hours after gravity's return, devastation is everywhere. Widespread injuries and fatalities overwhelm hospitals. Power grids, roads, and communication networks are destroyed. Water that floated up now falls as a torrential, debris-filled rain, causing floods and mudslides. Oceans are in turmoil, with massive waves battering coastlines. Satellites, their orbits disrupted, crash to Earth or drift into space. The global technology network collapses. Rebuilding would be humanity's greatest challenge. The psychological trauma would be immense. The world would never be the same. We'd gain a fearful respect for gravity's power. Could gravity really turn off? No. Gravity isn't a switch, it's a fundamental property of mass and space-time. As long as there's mass, there's gravity. But we can experience microgravity on Earth. Astronauts and scientists train in special planes that simulate weightlessness. These vomit comet flights offer a taste of zero gravity, safely and briefly. Imagining impossible scenarios helps us understand the real world. It sparks curiosity and wonder about the universe. Every falling object is a reminder of gravity's power. Our 10-second journey shows how fragile our world is. It makes us appreciate the stability we take for granted. But what if gravity vanished for a minute or an hour? The possibilities are endless. What if will you imagine next? Please like, share, and subscribe to Knowledge Odyssey for more videos like this.